Hey everyone, it's Teemu here. Welcome to new video. So I recently had this little photo shoot session and at the end of it, we ended up creating this short reel that could be used in like promotional stuff and a little bit of like showing how the videographer does his job and how I work as a musician. And the best part of it was that the whole thing was basically improvised. We had a little guidelines how to create this video and do it basically with one take, but other than that, it was improvised thing. So let me just show the video first, and then I can talk through my way of thinking, how I started creating this scene from my point of view. So here we have like the video ready to be shown. So yeah, that's how it went. So if I explain now what's going on here. So the backstory here was that nothing was really pre-planned. So beforehand we had a little bit talk on that we probably end up like shooting some kind of video during the photo shoot session just for fun. So once we were done taking the photos, I think we just had a really brief talk like what would be the end, like the starting scene here. And it was basically, if I show here, it's like this, like, okay, you like positioning hand there and then starting to play and let the music do the talking, so to say. And what I was thinking at this point, like if I have my hands right there on the fretboard, like around the tuning pegs, I somehow have to think about like the natural way to move my hand towards the higher part of the fretboard. So because of that, I thought it would make sense to just have like these peak slides things going on here around the like the lower part of the fretboard first. You can see here. So to me, it made more sense to do the peak slides as you can see here. And then after doing those like the peak slide thing, before the peak slide, there is actually this little like feedback going on. So that's like a little bit extra noise there to add a little bit more like characteristics to the video as well, because I think that kind of like sets up the tone that now we're around like the loud territory with guitars. And then, after that, I had a little bit of like problems thinking about like what's going on here. So what I had to think here was like what would be the first things to start here with playing. And to me, it made more sense to start these first parts here. So at first I had to decide like how I'm going to start with this playing. What is the melody thing? So I thought it would make sense to first of all do the pick slide thing and then go to the higher part of the fretboard and somehow do the story that goes towards like the lowest strings with chords, and then like kind of like introduce the reason why I'm using the 7-string guitar, which is those like lower chords and kind of like the extended range. So because of that, I ended up like tuning the guitar to it's in B standard here. So I chose the tonality of B minor. And in order to just make it work really well. I started with this like chord inversions. I think it's like the inversion where the major 7 and so the root note is kind of like in the middle of the chord, and then creating this minor second interval and a little bit of tension. So if I just pick up the guitar, and if I pick up the guitar, it looks like basically that's like a D major 7 and first inversion on the highest, like top 4 strings, and the inversion is starting here on the D string. Because this chord is sharing the same notes as a B minor key and D major, they are like relative keys. This is technically like a B minor 9 chord, because we're having like the 9th note and then the major 7 here. That's a little like a jazz thing that I learned as I went through the music schools. And then the second chord here is like a B minor 7 inversion as well. And then we're having another inversion here, and now we are going to like B minor 7 arpeggio or inversion here. Because this is just a chord inversion. It's the first inversion, which means it's like the first other note than a root is at the bottom of the chord. So here I'm having like the minor 3rd, which is D here. And because of that, we're having like a little bit less tension with the intervals. But again, it's like screams the B minor key here. So that, I think that really well like sets the tone for the for what I'm about to play here. So let's just rewind what's happening here. And then again, I have to think like, how am I going to play from here? And again, it's all about like identifying what I am as a player. So I decided to go a little bit more towards like the Steve Vai route and give a little bit of hint towards the guitarists that made me sound like me. And one of them is like Olli Tukiainen from Poets of the Fall. And I remember like the lift solo having those slide things. So I was thinking maybe I could use something like that in the solo as well. So so I started here with the little bend that helps me to go like towards like the lower area of the fretboard. And after that, I wanted to introduce tapping. That is like a really huge part of my technique. So let's take a look here again. So let's take a look at what's happening here. And then, so in order to do the transition, I needed to put the effect on, and I couldn't just like step on it. So I decided to make some like string noise by doing that hand movement here. Because like, I think if I'd be just sitting and putting the effect on, I think that would have made a lesser cool impact here. And then as you can see, I didn't do anything like spectacular here, like tapping wise. This pattern is like one of my go-to patterns. So I'm keeping like the left hand doing the same pattern and then move the melody on my tapping hand. So I'm just choosing the notes from the B minor key. Then I went towards like the pedal point. So I changed that now left hand is moving the melody here. So which fret was this? So this 15th. So it's like 17th fret, which is like E. Yeah. And after that, what's happening? So after that, I decided to do this like octave type of tapping with the right hand and finish with that one. And I think that also gave the idea for the videographer to like do the other type of movement here with the camera. And just, make this part of the video like really relying on what I'm doing with my foot when like controlling the effect here. And because I wanted to do a little bit of like movement here that is making me more going for the chord playing. I felt like I couldn't just start hitting those chords. So instead I just used intervals that mark the chords. And that's what I'm basically doing. So that's like really simple movement. That's like a C major, B minor, A minor, like a descending, just with the like different chord degrees here. And same here with G major to F sharp major. And this is like here just to like give a little bit of more towards like the harmonic minor that I really enjoy using. And here I went to D major to like C sharp major to give a little bit more like towards like this darker tonal experience. And I basically just ended up finishing the whole thing with a full B major chord here, which is going to look like something like this. And so I'm just playing the open B, and then just from the second fret, just the F sharp and B that are like the fifth and the root, and then also the F sharp and B. So there's just the root and the fifth, and they are stacked up, which gives a little bit more power to the chord. And have it like played with just with a pick, with a like upwards picking, and making sure it's semi slowly, like having the upstroke. So each note is kind of like standing out as its own. And then finishing with a peak slide to, give that like the statement here that, okay, I'm done. That's it. And a little bit of delay. So that's basically what's happening on this video and my thought process for just playing through this. I used the Kemper PRS MT15 profile that I've been using for years because that has been like my go-to recording profile. Now I've been experimenting a little bit more with different ones and probably starting to use them a little bit more. So that's one way to like build up the distorted tone. So I just had the profile on a little bit at a delay and then reverb. And for this final part or phase where I'm just controlling everything with this pedal. So for everything here, I just had everything set up with like one button that adds the right effect on. So that's in a short way of me explaining what's happening here and my way of thinking to build up everything. So I had my like go-to ideas where to go with the visual side of it in order to tell the story that goes from the higher part of the fretboard and then finishes here at the lower part of it. So I think that's one way to like tell a story. Not sure if it's the best way, but it's a story anyways. And here the visual side of it was also like something that I had to consider. When it comes down to like recording this was like the second or third take we did. So we did like few practice takes and tried the different approaches. And like this one was, I think, once we did this few times, this was the one that like ended up being the way. Just do it. So just few takes, and this is what I came up with. So if you have any questions, like how to get towards like this way of playing, I'm more than happy to help you with that. The way how I got it was that like improvisation was a part of my practice for years. So I built up my toolkit for being able to do something like this within some years of practice, but I can help with that as well. There will be more material about like how to get towards this point in the future of this like YouTube channel. So I hope you found this really useful. Let me know in the comments what you think about something like this, where I explain a little bit more about like the way of thinking when it comes down to like playing guitar or recording parts. I'm happy to explain my approaches. So thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully see you in the next